You ever have that moment where you knew you just had to get over some fear? We'll talk about that in a moment. Hey guys, welcome to another episode. This is Paul Montalongo, and in this episode, I'm going to talk to you about my confession of fear. Yes, I have a moment from last week where I had this fear that I had to get through, and I hope that I can share a lesson with you to help you in your life. So I have coaches, and one of the coaches that I have is in the area of my business growth and business development. Actually, I have two coaches in that area, and for the last 2 or 3 weeks, they've been telling me, Paul, you have to get on Facebook Live, do a live feed, talk to your group, talk to your audience, talk to your friends, tell them what's going on, just get on the live feed. And on the outside, I was saying, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, I'll get on the live feed. On the inside, I was saying, no, sir, no, sir, no, sir. I had all this popcorn in my head. I call it popcorn, when thoughts are just popping off, right? Random thoughts, right? I had all this popcorn in my head about doing this live feed. Look, I have never done a live feed until this past Friday. I was concerned that maybe I didn't understand the technology, that the technology would blow up and, the live feed would go bad. I was actually fearful that no one would watch the live feed. So this was a personal assault on my ego. I didn't want my ego bruised. I was actually concerned that maybe I didn't have anything of value to say to my live audience without this very specific preparation in advance, right? So I had all these thoughts just popping in and out of my head, but I trust my coaches and I trust their success in business. And even though they were telling me do this live feed and I was saying yes on the outside, on the inside, I really had some serious reservations until I had the Nike moment. You ever had that Nike moment? I know you have. You know what that Nike moment is? It's like, just do it. So this past Friday, 4 or 5 days ago, by the time you see this video, I sat down in my office and I put together the live feed. And I just talked about random things. I just talked about the books that I was reading. I talked about the business coaching that I was doing. I talked politics and the election. I talked about the hippie weekend I had a couple of weekends ago at a hippie fest, just random things. And wouldn't you know it, the fear went away because I had that Nike moment where I just did it. I like to think of myself as coachable. I have 3 coaches. I have a business coach that coaches me at the next level of my business. I have a technology coach, which coaches me at the next level because I'm not really a techno guy. And I have an emotional intelligence coach, which manages and helps me manage and maintain, my thoughts, the processes, my interactions, relationships, the emotional quotient that I desire to develop in my life, which by the way is different from having a counselor or a psychiatrist, which I have no qualms about that, but just an emotional intelligence coach. But I like to think of myself as coachable, right? Because I want to get to the next level. Do you think of yourself as coachable? So as a person who likes to consider themselves coachable, I decided, you know what? If I'm going to be coachable, I'm going to do what my coach said. So I broke through the fear and I did a live feed. Well, what were the results? The results, the last time I checked it, were 728 views, 62 comments, and a bunch of likes and hearts and, thumbs up and those kinds of little signs, right? So this picture that I created in my head of this event not working for all of these reasons, it would bruise my ego and no one would watch and the technology would fail, all of those silly reasons, right? They went away. They vanished. And I actually was able to pull off the Facebook Live. And guess what? I think I'll do it again. The point is, in that moment, I had fear that I had to overcome. Now, listen, in the big scheme of things, doing or not doing a Facebook Live event is not a big deal, right? My life could have gone on just as happily, just as joyfully without a Facebook Live, right? The point is that in that moment, I had that set of conversation that created the fear. So it really makes me think about, okay, what other areas do I have, some conversation that prevents me? Because I'm always in search of, how do I get better? How do I do more? How do I be more? How do I live a more rich life? How do I live a fuller life? And how do I convey it to you to help you do the same thing? So in my coachable moment, I went ahead and I broke through. I have a question for you. Are you coachable? Are you really coachable? And what does coachable mean? It means actually just doing what your coach says because it makes sense to you, and you realize that on the other side of the thing that's unfamiliar or uncomfortable or even a little scary, that there are benefits, and that those benefits help you in the long term. By the way, if you consider yourself to be coachable, go to paulmontalongo.com/strategy. Make an appointment with me, and I will do a free strategy session with you on coachability and taking your business and your life to the next level. The point is, again, if you're coachable, then you'll do the things that stretch you. You'll do the things that take you out of your comfort zone so that, the next time it's comfortable. The next time it's doable. And the results usually are always better than the fears. The results are bigger and better than the fear that you had about the event. So I hope this message has been helpful to you. Remember to like it on Facebook and like it on the social media. Also share it with your friends and comment, please, in the boxes below. I'm glad we had this talk, and I'll talk to you again soon.